So in this video, we are going to learn how to share new files from Google Drive to users in Google Sheet. Now suppose guys, you and your team members keep on uploading new files related to project into your Google Drive folder. And you want that you have a list of users with their email address into the Google Sheet. So you want that whenever a new file is uploaded in the Google Drive folder, the same file should be shared to all the users whose details you have in your Google Sheet. So let me tell you, you can actually automate this process in such a way that whenever a new file will be uploaded in our Google Drive folder, automatically we will get the details of the file, and after that we will get the details of the users to whom we want to share the file. And in the last step, we will share the same file which was uploaded to the users whose details we had in our Google Sheet in the next step. So guys, if you want to know how you can set up this automation, for that you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Google Drive to Google Sheets. And then once again to Google Drive. Now just click on this create button. You can basically give any other name of your choice to this workflow. This is just a demo name over here. Now you can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with the trigger window. Now the idea here is, first, we have to connect our Google Drive account with Pabbly Connect in the trigger window, so that every time we upload a new file or a new video into a specific folder in our Google Drive account, the details of that newly uploaded file, of that newly added file, will be received inside Pabbly Connect. Then after that, after getting the newly uploaded file details using Pabbly Connect, using this automation, what we want to do, in our Google Sheet, we had the details of a customer, or it can be the details of your team members, of the people with whom you want to share this file. So using this Pabbly Connect's automation, we will be sending the same file, we will be sharing the same file from our Google Drive to the users whose details, whose name and email address we have in our Google Sheet. So for that, we will be connecting our Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect in the second step and get the details of all the users from Google Sheet in Pabbly Connect. And finally, in the third step, using Google Drive, we will be sharing the same file with the users. So it's a very simple process. Let's begin with it. Now here in our trigger window in Choose App, let's search for Google Drive first because we want to get the details of our newly uploaded files over here. After selecting Google Drive in trigger event from this drop-down, select the trigger event as new file in specific folder because we want to get the details of the files which we are uploading into a specific folder in our Google Drive account. So select the trigger event as new file in specific folder. Then just click on connect and select add new connection over here. Now here guys, we have to connect our Google Drive account with Pabbly Connect to get the new file details. And to make this connection, just click on this sign in with Google button. Select your Google Drive account. Then just scroll down and click on continue. And as we click on continue, we will see our Google Drive account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the next thing it asks us is folder or subfolder, that we are searching for new files into a specific folder in our Google Drive account. So here in this drop-down, you will get a list of all the folders and subfolders which we have created in our Google Drive account. And out of all of them, we have to select the folder that the files from which particular folder, new files from which folder we want to receive inside Pabbly Connect, that for which particular folder we want to set up this automation workflow. So let's take an example. I have this folder of new videos. This is the name of the folder. So I will be searching for that folder, new videos, and I'll select it. So here guys, I am setting up an automation in such a way that whenever a new file will be uploaded in this folder named as new videos, then automatically the details of that file will be captured inside Pabbly Connect and this automation workflow will trigger. It will start. After selecting your folder or subfolder, when we will click on the save and send test request, the details of the last file, the most recent file which we have uploaded in this folder will be received inside Pabbly Connect. So here you can see that right now this folder is blank. We don't have any file over here. So let's upload a file over here. Click on this new button, select file upload, and I'll just upload a video file over here. And it is done. Just now we have uploaded a new file in this folder in our Google Drive. Now after uploading this file, we'll get back to Pabbly Connect and click on this save and send test request. And when we click on save and send test request, here you can see that we have received some response. And in this response, you will see all the details of this exact same file which we have just now uploaded. The last file, the most recent file which we have uploaded in our Google Drive folder, the details of that file can be seen over here in this response. So we will scroll down and here you can see the web view link of this file. We'll just copy this link and paste it in a new tab, and then you can see that this file will start downloading on our system over here. Then after this guys, here you can see that the file download is started. Let me cancel it for now. Then we'll scroll down further and you can see some other details. Like you can see the name of the file, the title of the file, my first video, the same title, file title which we have entered over here while uploading the file. Then after this guys, we will scroll down further and you can see all the other details like the name of the account, the drive permission, the email address, that on what account, on what email address this file is uploaded. Then you can see the links of the file, you can see the modified date, the date at which this file is created, this file is uploaded, and at last you will see this response of ID. So we will get the response of ID where we will get a unique file ID of this file. So let's search for that response because we will be using that response in the next step. So we'll just scroll down and yes, here this is the response of the ID. So this is the unique file ID of the file which we have uploaded just now on our Google Drive. So here guys, the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed. We have successfully connected our Google Drive account with Pabbly Connect and received the details of a new file uploaded into a specific folder in our Google Drive in our Pabbly Connect workflow. Now after this, what we want to do, we want to share this file with the users whose details we have in our Google Sheet. So what we have to do now, we have to get the details of these users, their name and email address, and all the other details if you have added that to in your Google Sheet. We have to get these details from our Google Sheet in our Pabbly Connect workflow. Now for that, just scroll down, come to this action window, and here in Choose App, search for Google Sheets. Just select it. After selecting Google Sheets, in action event from this drop-down, select the action event as Get Rows. Then just click on Connect and select Add New Connection over here. Now here guys, we have to connect our Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this Sign In with Google button once again. Select your Google Sheets account in which you have created your Google spreadsheet from which we want to get the data. Then just scroll down and click on Continue. And as you click on Continue, we will see our Google Sheets account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After connecting our Google Sheets account, the first thing it asks us is to select the spreadsheet. The details of the user are stored in which spreadsheet, from which spreadsheet we want to get the data. So here I have created a spreadsheet named as customer data. So we have to select this spreadsheet over here. And here guys, in this drop down of select spreadsheet, you will see a list of all the sheets which we have created in our Google Sheets account. So these are all the sheets which I have in my Google Sheets account, and we have to select the sheet from which we want to get the details of the user to whom we want to share the file with. After selecting your spreadsheet, the next thing it asks us is to select the sheet. So here guys, in this Google spreadsheet, there is only one sheet named as Sheet 1. So here guys, in Pabbly Connect, you can see from this drop down, there's only one sheet as Sheet 1. Just select it over here. After selecting the sheet, the next thing it asks us is the range. That from this sheet, the data of what range we want to get inside Pabbly Connect. So here guys, we just have to select the data. Like we want to get the data from this cell A2 and all the way till here. So the range of which we want to get the data is A2:B. Just copy this range from here and then just paste it over here after selecting this. But guys, if you will be adding some new row of data, details of some new users in this same spreadsheet as a new row further in later in time, then in that case, here you will see it won't be getting the data of those newly added row because we have defined the range from A2 to B10 over here. Now, if you want to get the data of the new rows which you will be adding further to share the file, for that what you have to do, from this range section, you have to remove this row number at the last. So the range will be A2 colon B. So our data will start from A2 cell A2 and it will go to all the way to column B. And after this, it will get the details, the data of each and every row in which we have added some data. So here guys, there's an important note which says you can use the range as A2 colon D, for example, to get all filled rows. D is the last column header of the sheet. Also ensure that you must have data range in the given range. So here guys, you can basically get the data of all the filled rows if you remove this row number from last. So that's why we have removed the row number from last in this range section. Now after entering the range, here you can see this button of simple response. We just have to turn this button off, switch it to the left side and then just click on save and send test request. After clicking on save and send test request, here you can see that we have received some response. And in this response, here you can see in this response named as response result, you will get the details, the data of all the users which we have added in our Google Sheet. Here you can see the details of all the users. The first user was dummy user. Here you can see the name dummy user and here you can see the same email address for this user. Then you can see the second user, then after that the third user, fourth user, fifth user and all of these users over here. So till row 10, we have added the data in our Google Sheet and the data till row 10 is received inside Pabbly Connect in this response. But here guys, you will notice that we have collectively received the data, the details of each and every user over here in this array format, in this pretty complex format. So what we are going to do, we are going to use a feature of Pabbly Connect that is called iterator. Using iterator, what we are going to do, we will be changing the data. We are going to change this response from this array format response, from this complex response to a pretty simple response. And also using iterator, we will be processing this data one by one in row-wise manner. Means using iterator, we will first process the data of first row, then we'll process the data of second row, then we'll process the data of third row. In this way, no matter how many rows we have added, how many user details we have added in our Google Sheet, we will collectively get the data of all the rows, all the users in our Pabbly Connect workflow. And then after using iterator, we will be iterating all of these data one by one. Now here guys, you must be thinking how you can use this iterator. So just scroll down, click on this add action step button over here. And then here in choose app, we have to select this iterator option over here. After selecting iterator by Pabbly, here in choose array, it has automatically detected the response which we have received in array format. So we have received this response of response result from Google Sheet in this array format over here. And iterator has automatically detected this response. Now just click on this save and send test request button. And after clicking on save and send test request, here you can see that in response, we have received the details. We have received the data of the first row over here. So here in response received, it is showing us the data of the very first row which we have received from Google Sheet over here. Here you can see the row number, the email address and the name which we have added. In this way, when we are actually running this automation workflow in real time, it will be processing this data. It will get the data of first row from this array and it will follow all the action steps which we are going to add after this one by one with that data. Then again, it will get the data of the second row from this array and run this whole automation workflow after this step one by one. So in this way, it will be iterating all of these data. So using iterator, we have converted this array format of data into a simpler data. And then here we have received the data of one row of one user. Now let's move to our final step. And in the final step, we want to share the file which we have just now uploaded on our Google Drive to this user whose details we have received from Google Sheets. So for that, just scroll down, click on this add action step button. And here in choose app, once again search for Google Drive because we have our file in Google Drive. Just select it. After selecting Google Drive in action event from the drop-down, select the action event as share a file. Then just click on connect. Now because we have connected our Google Drive account in the previous step, in the trigger step, we don't have to make a new connection over here. You can select the existing connection and then just click on save. After clicking on save, the first thing it asks us is the file ID. That what is the ID of the file which we want to share with our user. So we want to share the file which we have just now uploaded on our Google Drive account. So every time we are going to upload a new file and we'll get the response, the details of a new file inside Pabbly Connect. And every file will have a unique file ID over here. So here in this Google Drive trigger response of a new file, we have received the file ID, the unique file ID. and we have to actually map this response of file ID from this trigger step to this action step of Google Drive of share a file. So here in this file ID section, in this file ID field, in the drop down, you will see a list of all the files which we have in our Google Drive account. But because every time there will be a new file, we have to map the file ID, and for that, we just have to turn this mapping button on and we have to clear this default response. After clearing this default response, we are going to map the file ID which we have received in the trigger step. And guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field, and here in this drop down, you will get all the responses which we have received from previous step. Out of all of this, from the responses which we have received from Google Drive in the trigger step, we have to search for the response of ID and we have to map that ID over here. So let's search for ID over here. We'll just scroll down and here it is, the response of ID. Just select this response and map it over here. So whenever we upload a new file, we will get the details of the new file with the file ID inside Pabbly Connect, and we are going to share that same file with our team members. After mapping the file ID, the next thing it asks us is the email. That what is the email address of the user to whom we want to share the file, to whom we want to grant the access of this file which we have uploaded. So we have received the email address of the user from our Google Sheet. And using iterator, one by one, we will be processing the data of each and every row, each and every user which we have received from Google Sheets. So from this iterator responses, we have to map the response of email address over here in this email field. Just click here and the process of mapping stays the same. From the drop-down, from iterator responses, select the response of email and map it. After mapping the file ID and email, last thing it asks us is the role. And here in this drop-down, you can see the roles as can view, can edit, or can comment. So what access, what role you want to give to these users with whom we are sharing the file. For example, I want to give the access as the can view. The users can only view this document or they can download it. They can't edit it or they can't actually comment on it as well. So we are selecting the role as can view. And after selecting the role, just click on save and send test request. Now when we click on save and send test request, here you can see that we have received the response. And in this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the file whose file ID map we have mapped over here, basically the file which we have just now uploaded on our Google Drive folder, the same file is being shared with this user which has this email address, the same user whose detail we had in our Google Sheet. So let's check it. We will go to our new tab and we'll just open the email inbox of this email address. We'll just go to Gmail and yes, here you can see that just now we have received a new email, a new file, and this email says the file is been shared. And here you can see this is the exact same video file which we have uploaded on our Google Drive. As you can see over here, this is the exact same video. This means the automation workflow which we have created using this video, this automation is working perfectly fine. And using this automation, whenever we are going to upload a new file in our Google Drive, automatically within 10 minutes, we are going to capture the details of that newly uploaded file and we are going to share the file with each and every user whose details we have in our Google Sheet. Now here guys, it basically takes 10 minutes of time for Pabbly Connect to get the new file details because the connection of Google Drive's trigger and Pabbly Connect is a polling based connection. And in this type of connection, Pabbly Connect will check for new files, some new data every 10 minutes in our Google Drive folder. So that's why it actually takes 10 minutes of time. So here after successfully creating this automation workflow, what we are going to do, we are going to test this automation workflow once. We are going to upload another file, a new file in our Google Drive folder. We'll just go to this new section, file upload, and here I have another video as my second video. This is the name of the file. Just click on open and now we are going to upload this file on our Google Drive and this file is uploaded. So just now on our Google Drive folder, we have uploaded a new file and we will see within 10 minutes, the same file will be shared as an email with the same users, with all the users whose details we have in our Google Sheet over here. So let's wait for 10 minutes over here. Okay, so now we have successfully waited for 10 minutes. Now let's check the Gmail inbox of one of these users. We'll just go to Gmail. And yes, here you can see that just now the same file which we have uploaded on our Google Drive, the same file is been shared with the user. And here you can see by clicking on this, you can open the same file. The users can open and access the same file over here. This means the automation workflow which we have created in this video, we have tested this automation and it's working perfectly fine. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of this exact same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can actually clone this same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestion, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.